Absolutely delighted now to be joined by Mark Elsesser, who, as you know, is the Associate Director from the Office of Government Affairs here at the APS. Mark, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us on this snowy morning in Boston. So tell us a little bit, it's always a busy time of year and it's always a busy office yours with a lot of things going on in your advocacy agenda. So give us a little bit of an insight as to what's important to you right now.
Yeah, so right now in 2019 we really have four main issues that we're working on. The first is the federal budget. This is an evergreen issue for APS, right, and its members, so we're always working on that 365 days a year. Also this year we have a new initiative on scientific mobility. So this is how do we continue to attract the best and the brightest students from around the world, while also being cognizant of concerns right now over academic espionage and IP theft. Another key issue, especially important for people at this meeting, I think, is liquid helium. We're looking at trying to find short-term and long-term solutions for academic users who use liquid helium. They've seen prices rise dramatically over the last few years. And finally, we're working on a piece of legislation involving sexual harassment. So there's a recent bill introduced in the House, HR 36, which addresses this issue in the sciences.
To a layman, it's quite surprising that there is an issue with sexual harassment in the scientific communities, but it's something that a lot of scientific associations are focused on right now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. There was a National Academies report that came out in 2018. It really showed how dramatic of an issue it is, and APS has joined a number of scientific societies in efforts to combat this.
When you look at that agenda, it's quite a varied agenda, and those are big issues, and they're issues that pertain to everybody really who comes to a meeting like this. How do you engage with members to advance on those issues?
So we do a lot of different things, and we want to engage our members because we know that's the most effective way to have influence with members of Congress. So we have letter writing campaigns. So at meetings like this, we have a booth in the APS Village where members can come up and write a letter to Congress that we've already drafted on 5 different issue areas. Along with the letter, there's also a phone script and ways to interact on social media. When it's a specific issue that we want to target a particular member of Congress with, we find an APS member in that state or district, work with them to author an op-ed. We place that op-ed in a local paper, and then we use our grassroots tools to mobilize around that op-ed.
How do you measure success?
So it depends. When it's a particular issue that we care about and we've done these local op-eds, we can see direct impact. So last year there was a National Quantum Initiative Act that had some language in it in the funding section that we had concerns with. That bill was originally introduced in the House. Before that bill went to the Senate, we had 2 APS members, one in New Mexico and one in Colorado, who both met with the offices of their senators who sat on the relevant committee. They said this language was a problem. They offered alternative language, and ultimately when that bill was introduced in the Senate and the one that finally passed and was signed by the President had the language that we preferred in it.
So my final question is that yours is very much a non-partisan effort. You're scientists and you're working on behalf of the scientific community. But when you switch on the television these days, you're bombarded with noise, which is anything but non-partisan. How do you go about getting your considered message across with all this noise going on?
We're very strategic and we're very targeted. And then the more people that we have that are saying the same message, right, then we can become the signal above the noise, which is actually one of our mottos. So I encourage all APS members to subscribe to Signal Boost, which is a monthly newsletter, used to be a video newsletter that keeps them informed on science policy issues.
Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us today. Really appreciate it, and good luck with it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. APS TV comes to you straight from the March meeting in Boston. Make sure to come back and explore all of our great content updated each day of the meeting.